Welcome to the channel, everybody. Now today I have a Scum 0.9 and beyond news and updates video for you all. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it and see what they have in store for us. So up first we have programmers, and they have been working on server admin loot control configuration, bug fixing, finishing up on EMP functionality, reworking input system, implementing crafting rework UI, working on encounter manager, working on new tutorial system, implementing the pickup truck to the modular vehicle system, and implementing the duster plane to the modular vehicle system. So there's a few good points here to go over. Obviously we know of the EMP grenade, we now know of the pickup truck in its sort of final form that's been worked on for the past 3 months, and we have seen a few teasers of the planes, but we'll go through them a bit more later on in the video. For now though, I want to point out obviously this encounter manager. Now I'm not entirely sure what this could be. I could hazard a guess, but I have been wrong on a couple of the guesses I have made in the past. So I have made some contact with a couple of people in the Scum community and a couple of the devs, just asking them for some more information on this, because yeah, this could be another sign of some PvE stuff coming in. Obviously crafting rework UI, it'll be nice to see that, but more importantly, server admin loot control configuration. This will give admins control over loot and where it will spawn, sort of rate it will spawn, it's stuff like that. Obviously we've got spawn rate of loot of like 1 times, 1.5, 2 times, you can go up to 10 obviously, but this will give more control over that loot and obviously the loot on the map itself. So I think that will help with admin as well as server owners. You know, I think you're going to find that very useful when that comes in. So moving on to level design, they have been working on landscape optimizations, textures optimization, bug fixing, and reworking and optimizing continental houses. So they have been working on these continental houses for a few weeks now, but it will be nice to see what they do with them when they finally finish. Obviously a lot of optimization work has been going on as well over the past 2 to 3 weeks, which is always great news. So I hope they do keep that up over the next following weeks and we see some more improvements in the next few patches. But if we now move along to the art team, they have been working on the SKS animations, touching up on clothing morphs, bug fixing, new UI elements design, finished Scar L and Scar H models, working on new concept art, working on modular plane parts and collision boxes, working on pickup truck parts, working on knife holsters, working on new trailer, and working on new clothing items. So a few things here that we already know about, but it is nice to see that they are now touching up on those SKSs, and we should see them hopefully as well alongside these scars. Obviously we're going to have some new UI elements coming in, as well as obviously modular planes, trucks, and a little surprise for you which I'll show you now. They have knife sheaths coming in. I cannot wait for these. You know, if I find one of these before I find some military boots, I'll be happy with that, because then I don't have to worry about taking up room with my inventory. So that is a nice little quality of life item I would say that they're going to bring in there. Obviously new clothing items as well, but I think we're more bothered about seeing these planes and pickup trucks coming back in, but it should not be too much longer before we do see them. So all good work there from the art team, but now we'll move on to the next one, which is the sound team, and they have been working on EMP grenade audio design, working on Scar audio design and bug fixing. So they have been hard at work for the past few weeks, and this has changed from week to week, so it's nice to see that they are completing work and moving on to the next steps of it. Obviously these EMP grenades are taking up a little bit of time, but they should be finished off very soon alongside obviously the scars. Now we're going to move on to our next item on the agenda, which is QA/CM. Again, it doesn't change much from week to week, but we will go through it quickly in case you're new here. And they are hunting, banning cheaters, ban appeals, Steam general discussions and bug reports, performance benchmarking and optimization testing, testing of upcoming features, and various bug reports. So if you have any bugs and you want to report them, you can still do that over on Steam general discussions and bug reports. They are still working actively over there. But they do have their own website now you can visit, and you can attach files and stuff, and I think it just makes it a bit easier for them to gather it all. So if you want to use that, you can do, but again, you can still use Steam general discussions and bug reports if you need to. Now we're going to move on, last but not least, as always, to the design team, and they have been working on new game design documents, setting up new vehicle attachment descriptions, rebalancing BB element damage, working on tutorial design. So again, a lot of work going into these tutorials that should be coming back into Scum. Obviously we knew them before as Dina. Whether or not Dina will make a return is another question, so we're just going to have to wait and see for that one. Obviously they are rebalancing BB element damage, and I feel I may know why. So last week I teased something looked a little like this, and I had an idea that, you know, a player-based flamethrower may be coming into the game. And for once, I was actually correct. They are bringing in an improvised flamethrower. So yes, you can make it because it is an improvised one. So we should be able to craft this item. But whether or not that back fuel tank will be an extra item we have to loot, or we can again craft that, will be another question. We'll have to wait and see for some more information on that. But I may have a bit of an inkling on why they are rebalancing BB element damage to take into account for that. Again, it may come into effect of RPGs and new items that they're bringing in, EMP grenades, things like this. But again, we'll have to wait and see where the patch comes in and go through the patch notes. But until then, we'll go through some little teasers from the past week. Up first, we have a modular form of the Duster finally. They've been working hard on these modular planes, and they are finally going to be coming back into the game. I know these are a fan favourite of many, alongside the pickup trucks, and finally they will be making a return. And we've also had a nice little video of them in action. And I have to say, dogfighting in these planes is going to be so much fun now. And you'll see why in a second. So, it looks as if these wings are completely destroyable, as you've just seen. Both sides. And I would like to think, if I'm shooting the side of that wing, that that's going to separate and someone's just going to go spinning all the way to the ground. So yeah, it should give a bit more of an interesting realism feel to obviously gunfighting in planes now, and obviously crashes and stuff like that. You're going to have to be a bit more cautious when trying to land on your homemade runways and those tight roads that even I try to land on and have done before, but I don't know if I'm going to be risking it anymore, because I don't know if I'm going to want my wing separating from the plane like that. But either way, they're going to be some great fun when they do return. So obviously we've seen the knife sheath. We went over this a little bit earlier in the video, and we've also seen the improvised flamethrower now. So 2 new items that will be coming in also that are very nice, and a little bit more information on that SKS. So it's nice to see that they are still working on that, and that will be coming in as well. But we also had this image pop up. Now you may remember a couple of weeks ago I spoke about this poll that was in the devs office, and I said that this may be coming into animations in regards to climbing, because obviously it's a skill that is greyed out at the moment, and it would be nice to see some sort of rope climbing in the game. But I was wrong. I could not have been more wrong. As you can see, we have a dancer, but this did give me an sort of a feeling that the Tech 1 operation that's up in the snow biome, that massive complex with the nightclub in it and the UFC style cage in it, the octagon. Now, obviously we've had teasers of Tech 1 security coming. We've now had this. It does give me a little bit of a feeling that they may start off with that area with NPCs. Now, that is just a guess. Obviously, I have no information on that. And as you know, sometimes my guesses don't go correctly, but sometimes they do. So Again, we're going to wait for a little bit more information on that, but I do hope we do see some life finally up in that area. But that is pretty much going to be all for this week's news and update video. I hope you enjoyed it. Just want to give a quick shout out to our channel members, Megahoof, Mary G, Alti, Nectar 940, Phoenix, and Sam. Thank you very much for your extra and ongoing support. It's always appreciated. If you want to join them, you can head over to the channel, hit that join button, and see what perk suits you best. It all goes back into the channel, gives you all a better viewing experience. But if you do want to support me in another way, you can do simply by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. And that way, you'll stay up to date with the latest Scum news, guides, and content over on the channel. Until next time, see ya!